Good afternoon, everybody. I hope you're still awake, and don't worry if it's still not very clear to you what Flanders or Flanders Investment and Trade might be. I'll explain all that to you in a couple of minutes. And also, of course, I would like to say a bit more how you and how the Flanders chemical ecosystem can actually be a bridge that you can use as a company active in the chemical industry to bring India and Europe a bit closer together. Now, when I say Flanders or Belgium, some images, some things might come to your mind. Maybe Belgium, you know now as the country that has a football team that can win a game without calling our king or our government officials. Or maybe when I say Belgium, you think about maybe chocolates, maybe beers, maybe French fries. You're right, this is all linked to our country, to Belgium and to Flanders. If you like parties, then probably you were thinking about Tomorrowland. That's also true, because yes, just like Indians, the Belgians like to party as well. Diamonds is definitely also something that resonates with many Indian friends that I have here in Mumbai and in India, because of course diamonds is something else that connects India and Belgium. But I'm sure you were not thinking about cricket. I know cricket is big, you don't joke about cricket here in India. But actually, cricket is ours. I'm sorry to say that, but cricket was the favorite game of the textile workers, the weavers that were present in Belgium, Flanders, in the 12th century. Then we exported our products to the British, to the UK, and then the British brought it to India. So there's a lot more than diamonds, than Belgian chocolate, than French fries that we brought to India. We actually also gave you cricket, so you can thank us for that later. But now let's talk a bit more seriously. Flanders. Where is Flanders? First of all, you can compare Belgium with India in a way that you have different states, we have different regions. And the region in the north is called Flanders, and that's the region that I represent. It's not just a region, it's also the powerhouse of Belgium. Because as you can see, it's smack bang in the middle of Europe, right in between the big ones like France, Germany, and the UK and the Netherlands. There's the small country of Belgium, and in that small country of Belgium, there's the powerhouse called Flanders. And when you're in Flanders, you can basically reach 60% of the European purchasing power within 5 kilometers range, and 500 kilometers range, and 500 kilometers in Indian terms is absolutely nothing. Now, when I say powerhouse, I don't just make it up myself. We not only account for 82% of the export of Belgium, but also on a global scale. If you see here, we rank as a region, not as a country, but as a region, we rank number 15 when it comes to the biggest exporters worldwide. So if you see all the countries above us, they're all countries, whereas we, number 15, are just a region, which I think is quite an achievement and something that you might not have heard of before. What do we export? Many different things, and that is also what brings me more to the topic of today, because our main export product is everything related to chemistry and pharma. Now, funnily enough, also when it comes to import, chemistry and pharma is very, very important. So this really is an opportunity for you as a company in the chemical sector, in the petrochemical sector, to work with us together and to see what we can do for you and what you can do for us to help our economies grow. Of course, when you talk about trade, when you talk about export and import, you need infrastructure, and you need your logistics to be in place, and that is why in our region alone we have 4 ports, we have more than 1,500 kilometers of railway, we have 3 airports just in Flanders alone, and almost 1,000 kilometers of motorway. I'm sure that many of you are exporting to Europe, then you must have heard of the port of Antwerp-Bruges, and the representative is also here, Shivendu. Please raise your hand. This is Shivendu. Shivendu is representing the port of Antwerp-Bruges, and so this port is not only the second largest container port in Europe, it's also number 13 in the world, and aside from that, it's also the second largest petrochemical cluster after Houston. Now, anything and everything transits through the port of Antwerp-Bruges, whether it's bananas, it's beer, it's cocoa beans, everything goes through the port of Antwerp-Bruges, and it might also be the case for your products. Now, to come back to Flanders Investment and Trade, which I represent here in front of you today, what do we do? We're a government agency, meaning that we work for the Flemish government, and the good thing in your case is you can ask us any question and we will not charge you for anything. At the same time, we have a lot of knowledge. We can connect you with our companies, we can connect you with institutions, with organizations, with any possible partner that might be of interest to you. And at the same time, we want to add economic value to our region. How do we do that? We help our companies to internationalize, and at the same time, we look at Indian companies that are interesting to us, can be small ones, can be big ones, and that we would like to see landing in Flanders to add value and to add more, to grow our economy, basically. So we like to be a partner for you to grow, not only in Belgium, but in the European market. So in other words, we like to attract and anchor new and existing foreign investments into Belgium, and at the same time, we can provide you with all kinds of information. How do we do that? We talk to different companies in India, in Flanders, of course, as well, whether it's buyers, whether it's investors. We talk to small startups that maybe just have an idea that is coming to life. We also talk to the big ones. We talk to government agencies, to governments. Whenever we can help out a company that is facing some issues in their import and export story, we're there to help, and we do not charge. We have a network of almost 75 offices worldwide. Myself, I'm based in Mumbai together with the team. There's also an office in New Delhi and in Bangalore, but we have offices worldwide that do similar things as we do here. We work sector agnostic, so we are open to any question from any different sector, but of course there are a number of sectors where we like to focus on because we believe that that is where we can offer something, where we can make a difference and where we excel. We also prioritize certain geographical regions in the world, and India is definitely on our radar big time. Last year, we had a princely economic mission that came to India with a huge delegation of companies, had a lot of success, a lot of interest. Now, also, you might have heard of the EU FTA agreement, so the free trade agreement that was signed between the EU and India. That, of course, for us is again a reason to look to India a lot more than before. With the whole geopolitical situation happening out there, we see India as a really stable and reliable partner with a lot of opportunities. So, of course, we also focus on certain markets, and we believe that the Indian market is one with a lot of potential, a lot of talent, and also, of course, the purchasing power that is growing year by year and very fast. I mentioned that we do focus on a number of sectors. Logistics, thanks to the port, of course, is one of the big ones, and also thanks to our location in Belgium and in Europe. But we also work on digital tech, and again, this is a sector where India is also extremely strong in. Entertainment and media. Unfortunately, defense and security is, again, a sector which is becoming more important than before. But then a number of sectors which are a bit intertwined, climate tech, chemistry, health tech, agri and food tech, these are sectors which are closely linked to each other, and that also brings me to the topic of today, the chemistry in Flanders and the chemistry that we feel with India. I already mentioned in the beginning of my speech that the port of Antwerp-Bruges is not only a very, very big container port, but at the same time very important as a chemical cluster and the second largest chemical cluster in the world. The assets of the Flemish chemical industry are a number of points. First of all, our strategic location. Secondly, the highly integrated level of our chemical cluster, meaning that everybody in the value chain is present from the start to the end. And of course, when you have an important ecosystem, that has to be able to rely on good logistics and a good infrastructure, and that is something that we can also boost about. At the same time, our chemistry and our chemical industry want to be sustainable, and of course, R&D is a huge, huge important factor. In the beginning of my presentation, I already mentioned that the chemical sector is very important for our export. It's our #1 export product. And also the turnover per capita in plastics and chemicals were #1 when it comes to the turnover per capita. meaning that we attract not less than 2.2 billion euro into Flanders every year only in the chemical sector, and this chemical sector is good for 1/3 of our added value produced by the Flanders manufacturing industry. So you see how important the chemical sector is for us, and of course a reason for us more to work together with the Indian companies in the same sector. Now, when you talk about chemistry and the chemical sector, R&D is extremely important, and many companies, multinationals, Indian companies as well, they realize this, that Flanders is the place to do for R&D. You see a number of big names, Flemish names, international names, Indian names as well. They have their R&D center in Flanders, and there is definitely a reason for that. One of the reasons is the strategic partners that we have to offer for your sector. We have Essentia, which is a federation of the chemical industry with a network of 450 more or less chemical companies, and they like to build a bridge and a dialogue between government and between the industry. Of course, extremely important for the chemical industry when it comes to licenses, import and export matters, and so on. Then we have Catalysti, which is the organization, one could say, spearhead cluster for anything which is sustainable chemistry. And then we have Vito. I believe many of you might have heard from Vito already before, which is a strategic research center doing a lot of research on energy technology and environmental and process technology. Now, of course, it's not only these institutions, but also the universities that play a crucial role in developing new products and new technologies. And we have not less than 4 or 5 big universities. You might have heard of UGent, University of Antwerp, University of Leuven. These are just some of the big ones that produce many, many really talented people, bring them into the industry, and also, of course, many Indian students come to us to learn more and then bring the knowledge to India and worldwide to the international companies. Now, many Indian companies from the chemical sector, they have already found their way to Belgium, to Flanders. These are just a few of them that you might know. Camlin, for instance, that is working on the extension of shelf life of products by offering solutions including antioxidants, aroma ingredients and performance chemicals. We have Fine Organics, for instance, supplying oleochemical additives for food, plastics and cosmetics. We have Punjab Chemicals, for instance, providing agrochemical and pharmaceutical intermediates. We have Jubilant, focusing on APIs, generics, and life science ingredients. And Ashapura is another example that is present in Antwerp, in the port of Antwerp, and that processes bentonite, bleaching clay, and kaolin for their European customers. Now, not only are Indian chemicals finding their place in Flanders, but there are also a lot of Flemish companies that found their place in India. And today I'm very happy to be accompanied by the representatives of some of these Flemish companies. And I would like to start with Agfa. Agfa might be known to you because Agfa is a company that's already there for many, many decades. And they started as a company involved in photography, in film rolls, and so on. That's how they started. Then they went into the printing business, and in the meantime, they've grown now to a worldwide company in many different verticals, also in the printing business, the healthcare business, and of course now, and that's the topic of today, they're right at the heart of the green hydrogen value chain with their Zirfon technology. So Zirfon is indeed Agfa's high-performance membrane technology, tailored for efficient and durable alkaline electrolysis with over 15 years of proven commercial experience globally. And of course, with the growing hydrogen market here in India, Zirfon can make an impact with its higher yield and superior performance to support India's ambition in the energy transition business. Now, I'm not going to go into the technical details of things, but there is already 150 clients worldwide and more than 20 present in India that are availing of this new technology developed by Zirfon, by Agfa. And if you would like to know more about technical details and look into cooperation with Agfa, with Zirfon, then we have Rucha Shevde. She's here. If you would like to talk to her, she's available and she knows all the single details of the business that go far beyond my knowledge, but she's amazing. She's a talented lady, so talk to her if you want to know more about Zirfon. second company that is also present in the room is Azelis. Azelis is a company that was established in 2001, and in the meantime they have companies in more than 64 countries, and Azelis actually is the reference innovation service provider in the specialty chemicals and food ingredients industry, and breaking new ground in their technical laboratories by combining ingredients with ideas and creating opportunities through innovation. Now, we're happy to have among us Ms. Aparna Khorana, and she is the MD for India. Hello, always nice to see you, Aparna. So in India, Azelis has more than 200 employees, and they cover markets of life science and of industry as well. They have offices and warehouses in Mumbai, Navi Mumbai, Bhiwandi, Noida, Chennai, and Vizag. So if you want to know a bit more about Azelis and look into cooperation with them, feel free to contact Aparna. She's here today, and she will also be here the rest of the afternoon. But of course, nothing speaks more about a company and what they can do if than looking at their customers. These are just some of the customers that Azelis serves and continues to serve with a lot of success. So if they see music in Azelis, then there might also be some music for you in the company. The next one I would like to present is Trevi. Trevi is a specialist in odor control, and they have more than 30 years of experience in water and waste gas experience. So what they specialize in is odor control, and they do that through technologies of combining activated carbon, for instance, biological air treatment, and chemical scrubbers. Again, trusted by many customers worldwide in different industries, and we have also here with us today Niall. Niall, if you don't mind. So this is Niall, also from Belgium, and she's now based in India to make sure that the Indian market is growing, and actually it's growing pretty well, because just recently we had the confirmation that they have moved forward into the stage where Trevi will install 4 odor control units for the Ahmedabad Urban Development Authority. So a big round of applause to Trevi for that achievement. And so that means that they're now also very much into procurement. So Trevi will definitely be more on the radar of many Indian companies and official governments in the years to come. So Niall is here. She has also an Indian colleague in India who could not make it today, but he's also available if anybody would like to know more about Trevi. Then the fourth company in the row is Waterloo. The representative for Waterloo is based in Bangalore, could not make it today, but we are more than happy to connect you with him as well, of course. And what Waterloo does, they're water experts, and they're able to build integrated solutions covering the full water cycle within a factory or for a municipality. And their technologies allow them, and your company as well, of course, to recover resources from every drop. So they have a representative in Bangalore. They now also have a presence in Pune. They have more than 2,000 projects already completed or going on in more than 85 countries, 10 offices worldwide, and so always open for more business here in India as well. These are just a few of the examples. So there are sewage treatment plants all over India. And these are 2 beautiful examples that they have completed, so projects they have done in Belgium. The first one is the largest UASB ever with biotin scrubber and biogas valorization for potato processing. And the second one is a project that they did for the 2nd largest brewery in Belgium. And they managed to bring the consumption of 2 hectoliters of water for 1 hectoliter of beer to 1.2 hectoliter of water per 1 hectoliter of beer. So it makes a huge difference for this company just by implementing the technologies of Waterloo. So again, if you would like to know more about this company, feel free to reach out to me or my team, and more than happy to connect. So that brings me back to what we do and what we can do for you. I already mentioned to you that basically we can try to answer any of your questions. You can come to us for any information about Flanders, about Belgium. It can be regulatory, it can be about how setting up a business in Flanders, how does that compare as to setting up a same business in France, in Germany, for instance. We can provide you with numbers about incentives, for instance, that we can offer. to make your landing in Flanders a bit softer. But at the same time, we can also give you market studies. We can give you insights on Flanders, on how to do business with Flanders. We can also connect you with companies in Flanders if you're looking for a particular product, for instance, or a certain technology. If you're looking into a joint venture, for instance, that's also something we can do. And at the same time, we also are present at several fairs worldwide with Belgian or Flemish pavilions, so that's also an opportunity for you to meet our companies. If you're going to a big expo somewhere in the world and you would like to meet company A, B, or C from Belgium, feel free to reach out to us. We can check if they will be present, and we can, of course, set up a B2B for you as well. So, of course, I'm not the only person representing Flanders here in India. We have 3 offices. One is in Mumbai, and Ranjan, if you can just stand up for a moment. Ranjan, she runs the show. I'm just the face. She's the one who's doing all the work. She's available today and tomorrow as well for any of your questions. We also have a team in New Delhi. Babette is my counterpart there, also with 2 lovely ladies working together with her. And in the south, in Bangalore, we have Giant, who is available together with his colleague. So if you want to know anything more about Flanders, about Belgium, about Flanders Investment and Trade, or about any of the 4 companies which I just mentioned, just feel free to reach out to us. Again, we don't charge you at the end of the day. That's the best part of my story. No question is a dumb question, and we will also not give you any dumb answers. So with that, I come to the end of my presentation. I only have one more request. On Friday evening, if you're still awake at midnight, give us a small cheer, because that's when we're going to beat Spain in the World Cup, all right? So if you cheer for Belgium and we win, a box of chocolates is coming your way the next day, all right? Okay, thank you.